Hi, I'm Rick Martinez. I am a cookbook author, chef, and writer. I love anything Mexican, the culture, the food, the country. One of my favorite dishes, and the thing that I'm gonna be showing you how to make today, is called tacos dorados. The first time I had this dish was in Mexico City. It was a little puesto on the side of the road. These tacos dorados are filled with slow poached chicken falling off the bone. You wrap them in a corn tortilla. You lightly fry them just till they get really crispy so you get that beautiful crunch on the outside and tender, delicious chicken on the inside. They're incredibly delicious. They're very easy. You are gonna love them. I am really hungry. Let's get cooking. There are two components to this dish, the actual tacos dorados and the sauce that we're gonna smother them in. So what we're gonna do first is work on the filling in the sauce. So in the filling, we've got chicken, and we're gonna poach it in some really, really flavorful aromatics, as well as some homemade chicken broth. First thing I'm doing, I'm working on my tomatoes. I'm gonna quarter them. We're blending this sauce so you don't have to go crazy on your chop. And I'm just gonna throw everything into my pot. I'm not a huge poaching kind of person because the poaching liquid absorbs all of the flavor of whatever it is that you're poaching. But in this case, since we're making a sauce, you have the added benefit of getting a chicken that is incredibly moist and tender and juicy and delicious. Now I'm going to throw in some garlic. And so I'm just gonna give this a light crush and then take off the skin. I'm not gonna chop these because we're gonna blend everything. All right, so I'm using a white onion. White onions are pretty common throughout Mexico. I like these because they have a slightly sharper flavor, and I tend to only use about 1/4 to 1/2 per recipe. Same sitch with the tomato. We don't need to go crazy on the chop. We're just giving our blender a little helping hand. And now I'm gonna clean my chilies. So I have 2 different kinds of dried chilies. This is a chili guajillo, very common throughout Mexico. It's used both for its flavor and its beautiful color. It is really aromatic. It might give you a little bit of heat, but normally it's a pretty mild chili. And I take the stem off, and I'm gonna just remove the seeds. The seeds come out pretty easily. The seeds have almost a woody tannic flavor that when you blend it into sauces, it just adds a little bit of bitterness that I'm just not a fan of. So these are really amazing. The chipotle are dried, ripened jalapenos that have also been smoked. So then they just get like this really almost campfire-like flavor. Now I'm going to take the stem off. Now that these are destemmed, toss them in the pot. So the next thing we're gonna put in are all of our amazing herbs and spices. So this is a fresh bay leaf, which I absolutely love, but if you don't have fresh, dried is totally fine. So the first herb that I'm gonna use is Mexican oregano. It's really fruity. It's a lot different than Italian and Greek oregano. It's a little less bitter, but if you can't find it, don't worry about it. Italian oregano is totally fine. And I'm using some black peppercorns. They're gonna augment some of the heat that we'll get from the chipotles. And then this is a combination of coriander seeds, which are actually the seeds from cilantro, and cumin seeds. This combination I really like because the coriander has an almost citrusy kind of flavor that is balanced out by the earthiness of the cumin. And then I'm using 9 grams of sea salt in this dish, which is 2 1/4 teaspoons. And then we've got these 2 beautiful chicken breasts. These are skin on, bone in. And then finally, this is some delicious fresh chicken stock. If you don't have it, don't worry about it. Box stock is fine, and if you don't have that, totally use water, all good. I'm gonna pour that directly in. Every ingredient that's in this pot is just layering flavor on top of flavor on top of flavor. So the resulting dish, we're gonna have incredibly flavorful, delicious chicken and this amazing broth to dip our taquitos in. We're gonna bring this to a boil, reduce it down to a simmer, cover it, and let it cook until the chicken is completely cooked and easily shreds off the bone, about 25 to 35 minutes. It's been about 35 minutes. It smells so incredible in here. I'm pretty certain this is done. Oh. Oh, it smells so good. And you can see the chicken have shrunk down quite a bit. And so I wanna come in here and just make sure that they're done. So I'll peel back a little bit of the skin. Just take your forks and pull the flesh. You see how that's just like easily separating? It's ready to go. I'm gonna turn this off. I'm going to pull these out. These chicken are very, very hot. So I'm gonna let them cool off on the sheet tray until they're cool enough for me to comfortably shred them. We'll put these off to the side. And now I'm gonna grab my blender and we're gonna take everything that's in this pot and blend it up. And that's gonna be our dipping sauce. I wish you could smell this. It's so incredible. You wanna make sure that your lid is on completely securely and then start really, really slowly and gradually increase the speed until you get to full speed and we get everything nice and blended and completely smooth. The blending dance. Okay. And now the reveal. Oh my God, it smells so good. Like the herbs, the spices, the chilies. Oh, it smells so incredible. Okay, so this is our finished salsa. So I have this pretty little pink bowl and we will drop that in here. You can see how pretty this is. It is so creamy and velvety in texture. This is going to be so amazing to dip those crispy tacos dorados in. Oh, I can't wait. So now I'm gonna put this aside and my chicken should be cool enough to shred. I am, however, going to use some gloves. You probably wanna use gloves just in case it's a little bit too hot. So the first thing I'm gonna do is take off the skin and it just peels right off. If you're not using gloves, then you can just take 2 forks. I usually use one to kind of hold the meat in place and use the other to pull the meat off the bone. Either method is completely acceptable. This is all done, and now we are ready to roll these up and get frying. So the first thing we're gonna do is heat up our oil. This is just regular vegetable oil. I'm gonna fill it up about 3/4 of the way up. And that's so that I can get nice, even browning on all sides, and I don't have to keep rolling and rolling. So it's gonna take a few minutes for the oil to come up to temperature. So while that's heating up, we're gonna do the fun stuff, which is filling and rolling. Do it by feel. You want a nice sort of line of chicken across the tortilla. I'm putting it slightly below the center line, and then just take the end of the tortilla, roll it over, and tightly roll the rest of the way. And then we're gonna take a toothpick, and you can do this a couple of ways. You can thread it and go under and then back out, or you can just push it all the way through. Either is fine, because we're gonna fry it and we're gonna take it out anyway, so it's just there to make sure that the tortilla is completely secure and doesn't unravel when you put it in the grease. I must be getting hungry because this one's a little fatter. The hungrier I get, the fatter my tortas get. All right, I'm gonna test to make sure that my oil is hot enough. No need to use a thermometer here. I just wanna make sure that when the tip of the tortilla goes into the oil, it bubbles. If it bubbles rapidly, then we're ready. And that is perfectly ready. All right, I'm gonna swap these out. This will be my landing pad. So the way that I like to lay these in is put this end down and then lay them away from you. That way, if any oil splatters, it'll splatter that way and not towards you. All right. So I'm looking for really nice color. So golden brown, it's gonna get crispy. The chicken is gonna stay nice and tender on the inside, but I want a really crispy exterior. So it's just a golden brown color. Think of it as if you're making really nice golden brown French fries. That's what you're looking for. So you wanna see nice steady bubbles, and then just keep turning until they're ready. So that is the color that you're going for. So it's not like really aggressively brown, but it's like this really nice golden brown color. And then if you hit it, it's actually really crispy. So we're gonna go ahead and pull these out. I'm gonna let them rest on the edge of the rimmed baking sheet because all the oil will drain down and out. All right, and I'm gonna keep frying. All right, I'm gonna give these a little flip. All right, these are looking really good. Okay, they're super hot now. This is really the hardest part of the recipe, the time that I have to wait to let those cool off before I can eat them. It's almost time to eat. But before we do that, one important step, remove the toothpick. We don't want anyone to bite into a piece of wood. Okay, another fun plating. So I'm just going to throw down a bit of this delicious salsa. And I like a lot. I like to drown them. That's what ahogada means. So we're gonna drown these guys. And I'm just gonna take these two because they look extra crispy. And you just wanna like put them right there. And then we're just gonna build almost like a little side salad. It's just a little bit of shreddy lettuce. We're gonna throw down some beautiful chopped onions. And I've got some amazing cilantro. Just sprinkle this over the top. I'm gonna put in a little bit of cotija. This is a dryer of fresh dairy cheese. And then, of course, we need a little crema. Gonna drizzle over the top. Or you can get some sour cream. I think we are ready for a squeeze of lime because all Mexican food needs a squeeze of lime. It's gonna give us a pop of beautiful citrus flavor. All right, my favorite time has come. I'm just gonna get up in here, get some crema, get some onion, cilantro, go in and just like make sure I'm getting lots of that beautiful salsa. And listen to this crunch. This is so good. You've got a little bit of crunch, you've got a little bit cold, you got a little bit hot, you got a little bit spicy, you got a little bit creamy. Everything in one bite. It is so incredibly delicious. You have to make this right now. Listen to this. That is everything.